Well, a fine good afternoon, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I am in Charlotte, Vermont today, and I'm about to walk up this hill right here to visit a cemetery. So when I come down, though, there's a sign down here. Note that Google Maps will not quite get you here. So if you're heading south on Spear Street, you're going to travel maybe another quarter mile beyond when they tell you you've arrived. Just be aware of that. It's kind of annoying. But there's a sign down here. There's a sign down here about this cemetery that as soon as the traffic goes by, I'm going to go right down here and read it. Now, the name of this cemetery, if you're going to plug into Google Maps, is Bradley Cemetery. But that's the as known as name. The official name on the Charlotte Cemetery Commission's website is the one on the sign coming up here. And I didn't even see these steps as I was driving because they're covered in leaves, but we plan to use them. Holy cow. This is the East Burying Ground. And it says, in case you can't read it or if you would like to read it later, 20 years subsequent to Charlotte's establishment of a cemetery in the West Parish, congregants of the East Parish prevailed in determination that the town provide a final resting place here. At that time, the lovely wayside above provided inspiring views in every direction. About half the graves are unidentified, likely once marked by wooden crosses. Protestations of too much stone encountered by grave diggers resulted in abandonment by 1836 after about 60, that's a 60 burials. The town then opened the South Burying Ground in the East Parish, which was conveyed to the Morningside Cemetery Association at town meeting in 1915. That's 1915. All are invited to dwell in reflection and respect. And this started circa 1805. Alrighty. Yeah, there are steps here, but there are also leaves burying everything. I'm going to go ahead and walk back up the road here, and I'm going to pause the video whilst doing that so you're not bored with that, and resume when I get to the driveway. So I'll be right back. And here we are. So as you're driving down Spear Street, I'm looking north on Spear Street, you're going to see this someone described it as an access road. And I have to say, driving up here on these leaves, well, you can probably see the gouges my tires made. It's pretty steep, and my car is low to the ground. And I have my snow tires on the car, but they're really no match for wet leaves, to be honest. I mean, look at this. It's insane. So I'm going to pause it as I continue up this hill and give you a panoramic view when we get up there. Be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So I got to the top of the hill, and this was my view. I looked to the right, looked in front of me, and I didn't see a cemetery at all. I was told it was at the top of the hill cemetery, and even looking over here, excuse me, winded. After looking over here for a few minutes, I realized, oh, it's right in front of me. And perhaps if I zoom in, you can start to see those little headstones out there. All right, so I think East Burying Ground is probably one of the best names I've ever heard so far for a cemetery. By the way, there's a West Burying Ground as well. I'm not planning to visit that today. But this is a miserable day. It's supposed to be about 50. I'm guessing it's actually in the 40s at this point. That's Fahrenheit, of course. And it's just raining. It's a miserable day. But a great day to go look at cemeteries. The upside with cemeteries for me is I don't typically know who's buried at them. So it's a matter of walking and talking and not reading from one of my scripts, because I can't remember stuff anymore. So I just type it out, print it off, and read it to you. Oh wow. Now, it did say that the view would be amazing from any direction. So I'm guessing there were no trees here at the time. But yeah, there are rocks. Absolutely, rocks all over the place. Rocks and bits of wood, pieces of trees. Now, I think it's kind of tough to judge the ground today, given that it's really just a soggy day. Tree roots too, covered in the leaves. I'm presuming they care for the cemetery. They must cut the grass here. But I don't know, because I've never been here before. But all these itty bitty tombstones. I should mention too that once the snow flies, oh, I can't even see this one. Once the snow flies, I'll not be able to visit cemeteries unless I have a paved, plowed path, because it's just not safe. As you can imagine, if you've been watching my cemetery videos, then you know that they're just uneven. Ooh. Let's see, is there a name on the other side of this headstone? Well, I would think this would be the front because of the beautiful sculptural elements here. But to be honest, I have no idea. I don't see any names on there. Oh, but there's something down at the bottom. But I can't even begin to read that. But you know, at the VOCA website, the Vermont Old Cemetery Association website, I think this is .org. Anyway, at that website, there have been a lot of inscriptions uploaded to it, so might be able to find these inscriptions here. Now we can see more of these headstones, right? We can tell this is more my idea of a graveyard. But a graveyard, although synonymous and can be used interchangeably with the word cemetery, actually goes hand in hand with churches. They're churchyard. They're typically churchyards. Now I do see, like right here, maybe it's hard to tell, but you see how this one is sunk down? Now, in the 1800s, they would not have used the vaults like they do now, the concrete vaults. So graves would have sunk in as people's bodies decomposed and the caskets decomposed. It just made sense to do that. So you want to be mindful that this could be the collapse of a coffin in here. Or it could just be that humongous rock. There is writing on this one. My viewfinder is covered in raindrops. I can't read a thing through my viewfinder, is the point of that comment. Admittedly, with the tree stumps, it's kind of hard to tell where the headstones are compared to the tree stump. Tree stump, headstone. I always recommend that people do come to visit at cemeteries. Cemeteries I've filmed, or any other person's cemetery videos you watch on YouTube. It's a great way to pay our last respects. I'm guessing if that's got a yellow, an orange tie around it, I wonder if that's going to be cut down or spared. Oops. So many of these are moss covered. It's interesting, but makes them unreadable. It's mostly unreadable. Well, there's another one with an orange string around it. Oh, another marker. I wonder how many here are missing their headstones. I'm guessing we'll never know, unless they have records. But today is Saturday, and who knows? Oop, there's another one over there. And the thing with all these trees growing, that have grown, is that they the roots really create all sorts of. Ooh, another one right here I almost stepped on. Well, I did actually step on it. I'm sorry. Sorry, may you rest in peace. The roots really cause a lot of upheaval for the headstones. Yeah, there we go. Oh wow, here we go. Wow. Wow. So if you come in here this time of the year, be mindful that there are lots of tree branches on the ground, lots of leaves. You could trip here. And I talk about this stuff because I use a cane to walk. And if you're using a cane or you're not sure-footed, that this could be hazardous for you too. I just want you to be careful when you come out, should you come out. There's nothing at the entrance to this roadway that says East Burying Ground. That sign, if you're heading south on Spear Street, is after the access road up here. So you want to be mindful of that. I think you know what I'm going to say here. These little headstones are probably the headstones of children. And when I say headstones, there's one here and one there. And we see this one is leaning up against this tree trunk. That is for sure. This tree trunk has had a better life. Wow. Looking at that. And that was a good sized tree. What do you know about Bradley Cemetery or East Burying Ground Cemetery here in Charlotte, Vermont? Always interested what my viewers have to say. Just hoping my my camera lens doesn't get wet. Pointing it down to some degree. Oh, some toppled tombstones. There's one right there. You can see another depression in the ground here. I don't think it's obvious in the camera view, but let's see if I can show you with my cane. Here, there, over, and back down. Yeah, I don't think it's obvious though. Oop. And another one on this side too. About equal size to the other one. So it appears to be on either side of this headstone, which has been fixed. So I'm wondering if there are missing headstones here and here. One never knows, does one? Let's see, can we read this? Oh, man. Wife of Worsford. But we can see it's been fixed here and again down here. So just so you know, sometimes perpetual care, which I can't imagine was around when this woman was buried, does sometimes include repairing of the headstone. The way perpetual care works, by the way, is that money is deposited into an account with other people who've paid for perpetual care. And the interest and dividends from that money is used, generally speaking, to cut the grass, to sometimes to clean the headstones, sometimes to repair the headstones. I did read just today how there's at least 2 cemeteries that repair and even clean the headstones, and they're in Chittenden County, as I recall. It could be in Washington County. I was reading about some cemeteries today. Imagine that. The one upside, if you were with me during this fairly chilly walk, it's not even a stroll. It's a hope I don't slip and fall in here. Is the smell of wood smoke, because someone is heating their house next door with a wood stove. And I do love the smell of a wood stove. Don't like the heat with one, but I do like the scent from one. This might be a headstone over here. Let's take a walk over. A ginger foot placing sort of walk. Yeah, I can't tell if that's a headstone or just a rock. I think it's just a rock. Now that I walked over here. Oh well. It seems like, looking at some of these trees that are really blackened, I wonder if there's a fire in these woods. You see the blackened? You see how blackened they are? Huh. I wonder. Okay. I will say, this may have been a beautiful spot at the time it started, but it just feels kind of sad and lonely now. Looks like a headstone that broke in half. Looks like a piece of a headstone right here at the base of the trunk. Base of the tree at the trunk. Well, the sign is right down there. So I'm guessing those steps came up to the top of the hill right about here. But I can't tell because they're buried in leaves. My cane is sinking into the ground like crazy here. Another headstone. Oops. Another tree with an orange rope on it, tape on it, string on it, wrap on it. I wonder too if anyone were buried over there, because that looks like a lovely area to be buried, but I didn't see any headstones over that way. But let's take a quick gander as long as I'm here. No, I don't see anything. It's just nothing. Beautiful though. I mean, that tree is gorgeous. All right, so this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. I'm at Bradley Cemetery, which is the also known as name of the East Burying Ground in Charlotte, Vermont. And remember, if you're going to plug a name into Google Maps, you must use Bradley Cemetery, and it'll probably take you another quarter mile beyond where Google says you have arrived. Ta-da! Yeah, we're like bull bull. So, thank you for coming with me today. I appreciate it. Until I see you again, you have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.